We need diversity of thought in the world to face the new challenges. You affect the world by what you browse. The web as I envisaged it, we have not seen it yet. The future is still so much bigger than the past. There was a time when people felt the internet was another world, but now people realize it's a tool that we use in this world. Anyone who has lost track of time when using a computer knows the propensity to dream, the urge to make dreams come true, and the tendency to miss lunch. Intellectual property is an important legal and cultural issue. Society as a whole has complex issues to face here. Private ownership versus open source, and so on. We can't blame the technology when we make mistakes. When something is such a creative medium as the web, the limits to it are our imagination. Imagine that everything you're typing is being read by the person you are applying to for your first job. Imagine that it's all going to be seen by your parents and your grandparents and your grandchildren as well. The world's urban poor and the illiterate are going to be increasingly disadvantaged and are in danger of being left behind. The web has added a new dimension to the gap between the first world and the developing world. We have to start talking about a human right to connect. We shouldn't build a technology to color, or gray out, what people say. The media in general is balanced, although there are a lot of issues to be addressed that the media rightly pick up on. When you go onto the internet, if you really rummage around randomly, then how do you hope to find something of any value? It's difficult to imagine the power that you're going to have when so many different sorts of data are available. I don't mind being, in the public context, referred to as the inventor of the World Wide Web. What I like is that image to be separate from private life, because celebrity damages private life. Customers need to be given control of their own data, not being tied into a certain manufacturer, so that when there are problems they are always obliged to go back to them. It's interesting that people throughout the existence of the web have been concerned about monopolies. I'm very aware there are lots of other people who are just bright and working just as hard, with just the same dedication to make the world a good place. My own personal preference is that the consumer, the individual person, should be protected, because individual people and the difference between individual people and the diversity we have between people on the planet is so important. I suppose it's amazing when you think how many things people get involved in that don't work. What I do has to be a function of what I can do, not a function of what people ask me to do. Most larger companies now see that for the market to grow, web infrastructure must be royalty-free.